Hello, beautiful souls. I wanted to make a quick video because I knew yesterday when I talked about plants that there was something I wanted to say that I was missing. So I'm just going to make a quick amendment. Um, when I spoke about using micro as opposed to macro doses, and the jealousy of a plant that you're working with, which it's defending you, you're defending it. It's the thing of meeting higher and lower aspects of oneself and the plant, and the connection it can give you. I hope I made that clear to either the lower dimensional realms, think of the shamanic tree or the tree of life, and the upper dimensional realms. And taking too much of these things is what has made people not only be able to upgrade DNA and think they're gods, because this is what too much of something does. It gives you this like God consciousness, but it tends to be in a negative, complex way, which if you don't know what you're doing, or you're not having a focus of a light body, light mind kind of aspect, like you want the goodness of yourself and others more than you want power. And until you taste power, you don't know how you're going to react to that, nor can you judge others that haven't either. Having been in and through that, it's not my place to judge, it's my place to guide. So, as a guide, I'm saying when you megadose, you're going to meet the aspect of your own God consciousness. And maybe not necessarily the right one, because as I said, like when the heart space is not open, the Merkaba is not online right, you're going to get lower aspects and entities that may convince you of the wrong things, or may use your interior world in ways that are not good. So I'm not saying these things in mega doses aren't good under the right control for like trauma release, which is what I use them for, and healing. It's just that if you take micro doses over a period of time, you're going to get the balanced benefit of both worlds, so to say. And none of us can go into the upper realm and just stay in that without working on the lower. So I think guided imagery before you do those things is important, and during them with someone to guide you. Now, there's some of us, like I wasn't in a place where I could have a guide. I had to, in all the things I met, learn to be my own guide. And I manifested that in this lifetime for myself, for my reason. Like I had mentors and guides, and I let everyone know that when I was going through finding my center, my soul space for just me, I had to cut all the pendulums, guides, gods, anything like that off, and just see me and start from ground zero all over again. And I shared that in my old videos, but I took them down. Like I said, I may go over some of the old ones and put them up as I have time, if I have time. But I still kind of don't feel like I'm really putting out the gist of what I want to say, where you're leaving yourself open to negative entities that are going to pose as angels of light or beings of light. And they're actually beings that want to come in and control the upgrade of that DNA. Like I've shared, like I've had cults that, we're going to tell you how to get a 3-strand DNA, or to upgrade your DNA, to unplug your capped ends, or they say all this stuff. Really, a threefold cord is not easily broken. It's obvious that if we want to be like what made us or upgraded us to be more like them, that third strand, that God particle, that energy, because I don't think that it's necessarily seen, that also has to be upgraded. To me, I think of it's more like your body, your soul, your spirit. Body is matter and soul is matter, but spirit is not, and nobody has ever seen it, nor can anyone. That's why we say no man's seen God at any time. We all just give it our names and our characters and and what we think of it. So I believe that aspect of your DNA when activated is also invisible. And those who want to give you a physical, biological, material upgrade are going to make you pay for that, as my 4D dealings have been. Um, it's kind of like when you eat the Fey food, you can never come back to this reality. I'm just using that as an example. It's a story. But if you ever end up in the realm of the Fey, which some people say is mega doses of mushrooms or plant material, you can never go back to just being human again. So those are stories and archetypes. And, excuse my just woke up morning look with no makeup on, but, at 54 years old, I kind of love myself and I don't care. So, not that I don't care about how I look. There's just times when I think, I look perfectly fine like this. So, yep, I wanted to just make it clear that there was some aspects that I missed, because there are invisible entities of lower and upper dimensional, frequencies. I don't like to say dimensions, it's frequencies. Higher God frequencies and lower God frequencies. That's what a demigod is. Lower frequency, more of an earth aspect, or death, earth, below earth aspect. And then there's the higher, which to me is you connecting to your higher selves, higher mentors, guides, thought forms, whatever you believe about that. Like I said, and this is my own experience, not telling you how to have an experience, that when you take on the aspect of, say, Saint Germain or Merlin or somebody, because you believe that's part of your fractal, your monad, your God fractal, and not all of us here on this earth have the God fractal of this earth, the being that is over this earth. That one is very interested in learning. I found this out myself, and as my family line is from here, but I don't feel like I am. And RJ Spina helped me with a lot of those things, but I want to say again, I cannot get caught up in names of groups of ascended masters of a certain monad, because then I know that I'm going to hive mind to that monad, and I'm going to cap myself at that existence. And knowing all this, I don't feel called to do that. I feel like the most important thing was for me to disengage from all of that when I needed to heal and come at it from a different aspect and a different angle. So like I said, there's a lot of things I agree with that RJ is teaching, but at the same time, I don't like to identify with the archetypes of just those things. Just my Godhead is what I want to go through. And my guides have all been more on the Asian spectrum, not the ones that he and his group talk about. So that was all I wanted to say. I hope I got across what I wanted to say about the dangers of meeting your God selves, or other things trying to pretend they are because you've left your field open. Because if you don't have your soul online, your soul purchased, your Merkava in the right place, your heart space online, and you're not guided to do that before you have, by removing lower parasite entities, which a shaman will help you do, and mine did, then you don't work out of your upper realm to contact what you should. You're going to take on other people's things, and you're going to hive mind to a monad that's going to use your energy. So say you're going to be part of Merlin and Saint Germain's monad, or whoever's monad, and that's not my energy signature, and that's fine if it is yours or you relate to that. But like I said, you're not separate from that. It's all part of you. And I'll put up his website also, but it's got a little bit way too much information on it as far as I'm concerned. And I don't make contracts with anything, and I don't advise it, nor do I advise just opening your mind up to anything. So Brian Scott, who had one of the best interviews I feel like RJ Spina ever did, and Brian Scott helped me from like the beginning of my journey, some of his videos, because he has so many books and materials he reads online. So thank you for your time. I'll put those two people in the recommendations. I appreciate you listening to me again. Thank you.